I help men by showing them that they need to be fixed, but it's not my job to fix them. I believe that men today, we are lost, we are broken, and we're operating from the wrong energy. And I think the media, society, and a lot of things are at play. I mean, they even the plastic that you find in your food, like all of that is like on a biological level, changing our hormonal balances, which are making men operate in different hormones. I won't dive into that too deep now, but basically, I believe that men need to, awareness is important. Like you can't look in the mirror, hate your body and say nothing needs to change. So it's not my job to fix anyone, but it's my job to plant the seed or show them the mirror to what needs to be fixed. That's it. Why is this aesthetic transformation, and don't give me the service level answer, why is this aesthetic transformation? Why is this energy that you talk about, this identity of a man who's providing for his family, accomplishing projects and workflows and having energy to spend time with his kids and being productive, being intentional, why is this important to you?
God, that's the vulnerability. Because it's important to me because I didn't have it growing up. I didn't have my dad. I didn't have anybody to show me this stuff that I'm curious about now. And I would just see it as I guess I wouldn't say a fantasy, but as a visualization on TV. So if I'm watching a YouTube video of like my Nipsey Hussle, my favorite rapper, my favorite person, like somebody that is like, I didn't know him, but like spiritually, I feel like that's ideally how I want my dad to be to me, like teaching me like not to be surface level on shit that everybody else is doing, or maybe that's not the best thing to put in your body, or maybe just the guidance or the direction to be better.
And you have sons?
Yeah, I have three sons.
Three sons.
Son, and then two biological.
So for you, this is definitely a huge trauma wound. And you know, they say that weight loss, I do this a lot with people, weight loss is more spiritual than you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Weight loss is more inside than it is outside. When you talk about being fit, looking good aesthetically, all of this is tied to you being basically like what we consider like a conscious collective of like the standard of what a man should be for your sons. You want your sons to look at you and be like, damn, dad's fit, dad has a routine, dad isn't lazy, dad doesn't procrastinate, dad gets the work done, dad is ambitious, right? You didn't have that. So you want your sons to look at you and see that standard. So naturally, even if you have money but you're fat, that's not the standard you want to set for your sons.
Yeah.
Even if you have a nice body and money, but you're not there spiritually, that's not the standard you want to set for your sons. So you have a high standard of what, and this is what we talk about in my other conversation with you on like masculine energy. Like the divine masculine is operating on all those fronts.
Yeah.
It's not about having abs to have abs. I'm not having abs to like show off the abs. At a point in my life, that was the point. But now I don't, like abs don't drive me that way. It's more about being strong in my body because that's what a war, it's like the warrior in me.
Yeah.
It's like if the world had to change and I had to protect my family, I can't. That's the warrior in you, right? It's about being spiritually aligned so that way you don't walk around with like, I'm this guy who beats up everybody, oh, I'm a fake. No, it's like being in tune in all areas. So for you, your sons are this, you didn't have that growing up from what you just told me.
Yeah, no.
You didn't have anyone to have those conversations with you. So you're self-sabotaging that because you're not healing that trauma. So you're repeating the trauma. Even though you are there for your sons, right? It makes you emotional because you're like, I'm not living up to the standards that I want to live up to for my sons.
Yeah.
So like, I'm better than my father, but I'm also not where I want to be as a father. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's, you're healing the trauma, but it hasn't been healed yet. So, masculinity, business, so many things, right? But we've also had a lot of conversations around relationships and masculinity because you're a husband. Would you be comfortable in sharing, like, what are the biggest things that you've learned that you're like, oh man, I was doing this and now I know I'm not gonna move that way anymore. So that way they can hear it from you, from your point of view. Things that were important to you that you've learned throughout this process. So I don't know.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's in his own little world. He does that.
Okay.
He hears people walk by and he doesn't bark or anything, but he does like make a little bit of a vocal cue. Hey, put it back. Put it back. Dad is having a conversation with the brother. You want to hang out too? We give you a mic next time. Okay? You promise? I love you. It's a shit boy, huh?
Yeah.
He really is. Stay there, please. Thank you.
I think, well, and I think I know, it would be a few lessons that I was doing. Probably one, complaining to my wife, and then complaining in general. That's low vibrational. Every situation has a positive or something to be grateful for. You just have to position your mind to see it that way, retraining your mind, your subconscious to see it that way, that it's like, it's nothing working against you, really everything is for you.
Why did you feel like, one, you were complaining to your partner? A lot of men do this. A lot of men do this. You know, I had to talk to Aaron about it, and he was like, yeah, man, this is my previous relationship. Like, you're in a relationship, you live together. Things happen, right? Yeah. This is your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I want to share with them that this happened, right? Like, Klein did this. Right, so like, it's just normal to want to talk to your partner about life. So I want you to explain, what did you learn about why we don't do that when we're operating in masculinity?
It takes your girl out of her feminine, and that's I'm providing chaos to her, and it's supposed to be, you know, I'm masculine, I'm stoic. It's supposed to be the other way around essentially. She complains to me, and I just, you know, take care of everything, assure her, reassure her. Baby, I love you, you know, it's all good, everything's handled. Like, for example, what I had a crazy weekend the other weekend, and I don't think I probably handled it the best way, from, you know, complaining to her. And the way you reframed it of how I could have went about it was like, you know, eye-opening. And I guess I shared, it was like, you know, I had some medical issues and stuff like that with my son. You know, our property in Arizona had some issues at the house, we're not there. And just everyday life, on top of, you know, pressure, you know.
Crazy work schedule. There's a lot of men experience, right? Yeah. Crazy work schedule. Things out of your control, like the property that you own in Arizona, right? Things out of your control, like Braden, your youngest not feeling well. That's like, these things happen. Your parent, I'm sure parents can relate to kids getting sick, things happening, right? And again, telling your wife about it, it's not like,
it's not gonna do nothing.
It's not a bad thing, but it's a good thing. I think that's the biggest thing to understand.
Yeah.
What if you unload all your frustrations with your partner, where does she go from there?
She probably trying to figure it out. Start trying to figure something out.
And it's her job to figure it out?
Yeah. We're putting her in the masculine.
Putting her in the masculine.
Facts.
Whereas like, and ultimately, she didn't figure it out, you figured it out.
Still figured it out. So it was no point to even complain about it.
And that's really the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's really the biggest thing. So it's like, let's just use let's speak to an avatar. So let's say that you are a 30-year-old guy and you got a job.
Mm-hmm. So I was watching the video of you, and you were like, I think it was CEO Physique, you were like, your mom, when she talks, she said she could go back and change anything.
The father
for your brother and you.
Yeah.
And you were like, you know, instead of just looking at it like that, look at, like, you know, the good times in a relationship. Because at one point you did love this person, you know?
Madly.
Like, you loved them enough to lay down with, you know?
Yeah.
And do whatever.
And I know my mother loved them madly. Like, she was madly in love with both of them.
See, and that's good piece. Like, so I wish it would be more of that, because I feel like.
But have you had that conversation with your mom?
Oh man, I've tried to.
Oh yeah?
It's
wow.
like, My mom is the type that if you cross her,
Yeah.
you burn that. Like,
I will.
obviously, her kids, like, we get a little bit of grace.
Right.
But even, you know, like, if you cross her, like, she's really, like, and that's a lot of energy to be resentful.
Right.
She's really resentful. Like,
Yeah.
she'll go to war. Like, and
Yeah.
it's good to have when you somebody like that on your team when you're really,
Right.
like, when it's really needed. But for stuff like that you can't control, that's like in the
Correct.
past, that's not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's
you
not
know?
healthy, no.
And I tell her that all the time. Like she wear it on the sleeve, but it's like I've tried to reach out to my dad, but you know, whenever I go to like try to ask a question, because I want to know like why I am how I am.
Mm.
You know, like, because you get.
You know, it's crazy. I'm sorry for interrupting
No,
you.
you good, go ahead.
This is good. Dude.
Yeah.
I had that thought today. This is so crazy how the world, the universe works. Because my mom just sent me that photo.
Yeah.
And today, I woke up at 3 a.m. So I'm here. I'm alone.
Okay.
I'm in private. Right. It's crazy. Sorry for interrupting you. Just have to say this. And you know, I'm a very spiritual person, and my mother introduced me to Ifa, which is a different religion, right? In Cuba, they call it Santeria. But when I spoke to my father after me and Monica broke up. So in 2024, April, I called my father. Because my father was a very attractive guy, you know, handsome black man, had a lot of women, right? And I basically reached out to him and I was like, you know, like, I you know, all these women are attracted to me and I have all these options and, you know, I need some guidance on, I basically was like, I don't want to end up alone just having a lot of women. Right, like I want to settle down. I want to be happy, and then in that conversation I said, "Well, you know, Dad, were you in the same religion as my mom? Like, right?" And he was like, "No, I was a Freemason in Cuba." And then today I was sitting down and I was like, I consider myself a very powerful human being internally, right? And I was like, what a coincidence that my mom has a strong religion, and my father was a Freemason. And I was like, I want to talk to him and see like, what was I like being a Freemason? And I wanted to kind of just like pick his brain on like, how, because you know, Freemasonry, they teach you so many things about like spirituality and humanity and rules and things that you learn, I'm assuming, just from what I've heard, like what we've all heard about Freemasons, right? So I felt the need to want to talk to him today to ask him that. So the fact that you said that you reached out to your father because you're like, I want to know who I am. And I was like, through my father, I could learn more about who I am.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like a crazy full circle.
No, yeah, it's probably a
Full circle moment for me here
confirmation for you
to reach out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him today.
Yeah. I mean, my father's blocked. He's been blocked for the last few years.
Actually, let me see something real quick. Let's do it live. This is good for the brotherhood.
Yeah.
Let's see if he answers.
Better now than never.
He only speaks Spanish though.
Oh man.
Afro-Cuban. Julio Alvarez. Hello, papi.
¿Qué hay, papi? ¿Qué hay?
¿Qué hay?
Ahí, compadre, ahí que salí del trabajo ahorita.
Mi mamá me mandó una foto de ti y de tú cuando estabas joven, te la voy a mandar ahora.
Ah, coño, está bien.
Y me puse a empezarle algo, que la última vez que te vi a ti fue, ¿qué año?
¿Qué?
¿Cuándo fue la última vez que nosotros vimos?
Que nos fuimos.
Ajá.
En persona.
¿Empezó? Oh, no me grites.
No, te digo, pero en persona, papi, no, cuando fui allá.
Ya son 10 años, papi. Son 10 años.
10 años, no, papi, no tanto.
Fue en 2016.
Coño, sí, ¿verdad? Ya hace 10 años ya. Ya.
Perfecto. Bueno, ahí estamos, papi. ¿Cogiste la foto que me mandé?
Sí, ya entró.
Tú estabas-
De todas maneras,
Tú estabas muy lindo. Tú estabas muy lindo. Tú estabas muy lindo. Tú estabas muy lindo.
Te voy a mandar una foto para que me veas ahora en la actualidad.
Ok, papi, dale.
Está bien, papi, bueno.
Bueno, adiós.
Bueno.
All right, there you go. I told him to let me know so I could fly him out here. I haven't seen him in 10 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What I just did is how you need to move as a man in your life. I talked about it in my last video about numerology. You can't be scared to do the work. So you just capture me doing the work in real time. Does that make sense?
How's that feel?
Because I'm the shit, man. That's how I move. You know, like ignorance is bliss until you're no longer ignorant. We had a conversation. My mom sent me a photo today, aligned to the conversation that we're having. I had a thought early in the morning. So why waking up early in the morning when the world's sleeping is good. And it's like, what are the things that are holding you back from living the life that you want to live? It's that stuff. It's those traumas that you're not willing to heal from, that you're not willing to grow from. Does that make sense? You know, I never want to come on here for CEO Physique Season 5 or on my Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I never want to come on here and speak from a place of like, I have it all figured out. Because I don't. I also self-sabotage. I also struggle with consistency. I also struggle with some of the bad habits that get in the way of the things that you want to accomplish. What I would say is that I work really, really hard on making that a small part of my life.